Hi everyone, today I am going to be colouring in R.J. Hampson's Night Garden book, and this picture is called the Gloaming, and it has a lovely tree and this sort of, I'm not sure, magical looking shape. We have some fun things going on around the edge. I'm a bit scared about the background because it's a night sky and I don't know what to do, but I'm going to not worry about that now. I'm going to just do the tree because it looks really pretty and then worry about everything else after. So I've got my Castle Arts set. I have got the upside down set, the 72 set, and that should give us enough colours. So I'm going to start with the darkest brown for the tree and then work from there, I think. Just looking and thinking. Yeah. So this is the burnt umber, and I'm going to come in a little closer because I'm probably only going to be working on the bit inside the, maybe the bottom, maybe, well, there. So I'm going to have a look at this tree and see where it needs to be darker, and we've actually got some shading already here for us and things, so we can use that. So looking here, look, we've got a dark bit here, a dark bit here and here. So I'm just going to go over those darker areas. Oh, is that the fox's tail? Yeah. Okay, we'll pretend we didn't do that. Just carry on as if nothing's happened. So all the areas that have little lines drawn on them, they're obviously meant to be dark, and these very shadowy areas. We've got some of these that where they're coming out from under here, they're a bit darker. You can hear my lovely boys chattering away in the background. They're recording a, is that a branch? Yeah, a root, I mean. They're recording a video. They're doing a live stream actually. I hope they've tested to make sure it's working. Last time they did one, it didn't work to start with, and I noticed on my computer because I tried to watch it. But they threw me out of the room nice and quickly this time. So I really hope that it's working for them. They were really excited actually. Well, it was only my one son was doing it. I'm going to do the outside of this tree trunk. He was doing it on his own last time, and someone said, I can't work out how to give you any money, and he was really excited, but he can't be monetized because he hasn't got enough subscribers. So I said I'll give you a link to my PayPal tip jar, and then if someone gives you money I can give it to you. Problem is, I was thinking I have to pay tax on it, but I don't because the tip is a gift. We don't pay tax on gifts in the UK. I'm going to leave that there for now, and I will probably come back and do a little more in a bit. I'm going to go for a slightly lighter brown. We don't have a big range of browns in this set, but the Van Dyck brown is our sort of next one, and I'm going to try and start adding a little bit of shape and a lot more colour. So on the edge of the tree trunk, the reason I've done that a little bit darker is because it can make it look more rounded if you have more colour on the very edge. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Try and avoid these little mushrooms that are growing out of it, which are very cute. And come in, but of course we've got all these lines and bits and pieces which slightly complicate it, but I'm not worrying about those too much now. I just want to get this shape sorted out so that it looks more rounded. I'm going to grab my burnt umber again and just re-emphasize the edges. I know they're quite dark, but if I can then bring that in a bit, I think it will help us. This paper can take quite a lot of layers, so we can keep fiddling until we're happy, which is good. Sorry, I'm back with the Van Dyck brown. It's the only two colours I've got at the moment out of the tin. Okay, now back to burnt umber to do this bit. Make that one very dark, this one slightly lighter, and then maybe around the edge of some of these lines, just to make it, wants to look gnarly, doesn't it? Shadow there. You could do a bit under there and over there and make that bit look like it's sticking out a little bit, a little hole in there. There we go. Okay, back to our Van Dyck brown, and I'm just going to slowly work down here really. This bit is overlapping, it's going to be a little bit darker, and we'll just work down. Now I've got our deer here. I think this bit here is going to be slightly darker because the bit behind. Same with that bit. And then a bit darker here, maybe underneath as well. And then we just take that colour to meet. And we want to leave a little bit lighter area so that we can look more rounded. Hopefully you can see that. I think it looks okay in the camera. I'm just going to colour in that dot there, like that. Now this I'm slightly confused by because it looks a little bit like there's a plant rather than the root. So I'm not going to colour that bit brown. I'm just going to take my brown to here. Okay, I think we'll just come down to the edge of the ring at the minute, and then I'll know you're in shot, because you know what I'm like, I'll forget all about you, I mean the fact that you might want to see. But I hope everyone's well. I've been trying to select a few different things, different authors and things. I've been being sent some really lovely books, which is so kind of people, but I feel like sometimes it means I abandon older books that other people have sent me. I try my hardest to get a good balance, but you know, there's only a certain amount of time in the day to make videos and edit and everything else. And actually, my husband told me this morning, he said, do you realise that you've uploaded over 1,000 tutorials? I was like, are you kidding? He's like, no. So I was like, wow. So that's actual tutorials. That isn't including the flip throughs and other things. That's just tutorials. I was a bit blown away by that. So, and I've been, how long have I been? That's probably a year now. 2 years, sorry, that I've been on YouTube. So that's quite a lot, isn't it? But it shows how much I like it. And some of the early ones are not quite as good. The lighting was a problem for me for quite a while. And then last summer I had to record in my kitchen because of the children being around, and the lighting in there was really bad. And then the camera wasn't too good. So, and the camera wasn't broken, it just wasn't designed for being upside down, because I film with my camera completely pointed downwards, and I didn't used to do that to start with, and then I thought the angle was a little bit disconcerting, so I tried to do it straight down, and the camera that I was using, it used to have a wobble, and just trying to work out what's going on here. I'm pretty sure there's a root in there. I don't think there'd be a gap. The gaps are all in this black. So anyway, it had a wobble, and I wrote to the manufacturers and said, what's going on? Just trying to work, I don't want to colour Mr. Fox yet. And they explained that the camera isn't designed to be hung upside down, and it thinks there's a fault, and it tries to adjust for it or something by wobbling. I mean, they use much more technical language than that, but that's how I understood it anyway. So I got myself a new camera in the end, because it wasn't brilliant, and I'd managed to earn enough money through the adverts on my videos to be able to pay for one. I'm just looking here because these definitely look like mushrooms, don't they? But we've got this bit of branch coming up which looks like it's part of the root. I think we'll do the stem as the same colour as the root, and then we'll colour those mushroom tops a different colour once we get round to it. It's it's actually Saturday afternoon, but my son wanted to go live today because he thought there'd be more people around to watch. So I'm hoping that he's got some people watching. Last time he got 2 or 3 people, well, he got quite a few people watching, but 2 or 3 people in the chat, which helped him because he said sort of when he ran out of things to say, he could bounce off the chat and that sort of thing, so that was nice. I can hear dog barking, don't know if you can hear it. Where are we going now? We're down here, I think. I'm trying to keep it a bit less random because when I colour on my own, I could probably be up here by now, you know, but not doing this bit, you know, just all over the shop. So I'm not usually very prescriptive. It's just a bit random. I have been now, like I started that and now I'm on that one. So what I'm trying to do with each of these roots is to put a bit more colour down on the edges so it's a bit darker, and then it helps to give them a bit more shape. I'm just going to sharpen my pencil. I just move my water bottle out of the way. It might be a little bit noisy, so this is my dowel. I don't know how to say it. There we go, it's a bit better. I didn't do it really full. The Dowel 133 sharpener, it's very good. I had it sent to me, and thank you, lovely person, for sending it to me. It is fantastic. And I thought that my other sharpener was the best one. I was very wrong. The only downside, I was saying this to someone earlier, the only downside is that the tray that collects the bits doesn't seem big enough. I'd like a bigger one because you have to empty it quite often. Okay, I'm going to move on to the roots under the tree. So I'm just going to move up so that you can see. And as with this one, I'm going to leave that and probably do it green. But really trying to outline them in a darker bit. It's going to be trickier as they get smaller. And do my best. But I don't really want to leave too much white either. There we go. This one we've got this darker mark, so to start off with a darker bit. And then take it up. I'm having a good laugh next door. Sorry, I stopped talking because I was listening. It's very naughty of me. But yes, they're like, Mum, you can go next door. Okay. I'll go and colour the page I wanted to colour on video instead of doing it on my own. But actually, I may not have done this one on my own because this one I've been planning to do a video for a while. I've had it sitting on my recording desk and I keep doing other things and putting other things on top of it. I don't know why, it's like I'm not a procrastinator, it's just that I've had a few book flip throughs I had to do, and then I had some planner pages I needed to do, so they sort of took priority. So I'm trying to go dark on the edge. It's really tricky with these little roots, but just getting some colour onto them is nice. This one I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to put it darker on those hatched areas. And you could use, you know, more than one colour for this. I quite like it all being the same one, but you might think it's a little bit samey. But then what would you use? You know, you could obviously use a few different shades of brown, but you know, it's not exactly, wouldn't really work with rainbow stripes or anything. So, we'll see. We're going to move along to this one. I think it looks quite nice, even though it's all one colour. I quite like that impact of one colour. keeping it fairly simple. To remember that the animals are really the stars of the show on this page, not the tree. Maybe? So maybe it's them that I should be spending the time on, or making it a bit brighter. So what have we got here? We've got a fox and a rabbit and a stag. We've got some birds as well. So if they're more brightly coloured, they would show up more than just the tree. So we'll see anyway. And this sort of circle, I've been thinking about what to do with that as well. Now I had a couple of thoughts that I could do it gold, like it's just made of gold, or I could do it stone, you know, grey, like stone, or even silver. I'm still not completely sure what to do. I thought if I do the tree, which I wanted to do in traditional tree colours, and then have a look how it looks, that'll help me know what to do with it really. I know some of you can sort of visualise and you would be able to see in your sort of mind's eye, as it were, what it's going to look like. I can't do that. So I just have to colour it first and then have a look and sort of, I don't know if that's that, not that bit. To colour both those bits brown. So yeah, I don't have that sort of mind's eye. I have it a tiny bit. I can't do faces at all. I can't imagine how this might look when it's finished. I can't do that. I can't turn things around in my head. I don't know if you might have done it if you did GCSE maths and you have a sort of transformation type question and it'll say here's a square, and if you imagine it's turned itself around, no, not a square, a different shape, imagine it's turned around by 90 degrees, what does it look like? I can't do that in my head, I can't see it, so it was really difficult. I couldn't do those questions, but anyway, luckily but I just thought when I was that age I assumed everybody was the same as me, and I found out that even my identical twin sister doesn't have it. She's fine, she's got her mind's eye. I say fine, I don't think it's a problem. It's just different. It's just, I think if you had something and you lost it, it would be quite difficult, but having never had it, you just don't miss it. You know, it's just never been able to do it. So I can sort of like, my husband was talking about a particular town that we might be going to soon, and I've been there before, and I was trying to think about what it looked like, and I can't see it properly, but I would know like what shops were there and things like that. So I was like, what shops are there? You know, I keep thinking of a particular place, but I know it isn't the right one because you know, I just know it's not. So he said, well, there's this shop, there's a Tesco, and I was like, oh. And then a little Tesco. I was like, okay. And then he went, there's this marketplace, and then you go around here, there's an antique shop and a bookshop. And I was like, oh, yes, I think I know. I said, I remember I went there, it was really hot. He's like, that's not really good way of, I remember it being hot. I went there quite a few times. And then he said, oh, there's a Burger Star. And I was like, oh, I remember going to that Burger Star. So I remember going to the Burger Star. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Burger Star, it's quite a local business, burger place. And we used to have one in the town I'm in, but it's closed down sadly. But they do like burgers. And then they have all their dressings for you to help yourself. And they would have all sorts of nice different cucumber relish, tomato relish, and different things like that. You could have as much as you liked. Just put it straight onto your burger. And they do pizza as well, and yeah, that's pretty cool. But our small town, I don't know really why they struggled. There's a chip shop in that space now, but it was always seemed really busy, but I don't know, maybe they just didn't want to run another one, but it was interesting. Right, there are all the roots, and I'm going to go up and do the top of the tree. We've already been working on this tree for 20 minutes. Wow, I'm just checking the bottom, make sure I haven't missed any. Oh, I have. I missed that bit. There we go, nothing too fancy for that. Can I fit it all in? Yeah. So I might want to go in with the darker colour in some areas, but I'm just going to try using this one pencil first. I'm going to stay within our circle to start with and use the same technique through, so there's not much to tell you, except I'm going to put a bit more colour down on the edges of the branches and hope that it makes a difference. It may not because they're so small, you might not really see it. Oh, there's a big bang. I don't know if you heard it. It's our dishwasher's on. The pipes clunk a bit. It's okay. This is the burnt umber I'm just going to use for here and here. Do you do this sometimes? Pick up 2 pencils at once. Need my pencil case in here, it's rolling away. What's that? Oh, it's a leaf. Yeah, so I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope you're all colouring along with something. I mean, you may not have this book, obviously, or, you know, you might not quite be in the mood for this sort of picture, but you can colour anything along. It's nice to think that you might be colouring something while you're watching or listening. I know not everyone is in a convenient place to colour, but I'm not sure whether my colouring's whether I'm going to struggle a bit soon when having the kitchen done. It's actually quite exciting. Just now we were doing a bit of cleaning. I know, it's not exciting, but we had a bit of a sort out of one of the cupboards ready for when the kitchen's being done. So that was good fun. We've still got quite a few to go, but husband finds it a little bit stressful, so we just do it step by step. And I've got 3 bags now for the charity shop, so me and my boys can take it to the charity shop in the week. We'll pick a day when it's cool. It's the problem with the charity shops is they don't open that early, so it's already getting a bit warm by the time they're open. So we'll need to do it on a day when it's cool, or else we'll end up getting sunburnt or something silly. Because we have a 15-20 minute walk. It's a good walk. I'm just going to sharpen my pencil again. But you know, if it's full sunshine, it gets quite warm. There we go. So yeah, it can get a bit warm, but we just have to be careful. We all try and protect our skin. My one son goes really red. He used to get really sunburnt when he was at school because he would keep his jumper on to there, and that bit of him, his hand, would go bright red from the sun. But at college they don't have to go outside. They don't. They stay inside. When they first started, they didn't like going inside. It was all a bit too noisy and too many people. But once it got too cold to go outside, they used to go and hang out inside, and they started to find a little place where they would always go, so that was quite nice, and feel a bit more familiar with being inside. And I think it's a bit daunting when you first start a place. There's lots of people making a lot of racket. But yeah, they've got a year left once they go back, because it's a sixth form college, so it's only 2 years. It's for between 16 and 19. Some children do stay on for an extra year if they don't do as well as they'd hoped in their exams, or if they aren't ready to take them. They can repeat some of their classes. It's a bit more flexible than a school when you can't do that. But my boys are confident that they'll be ready. They've been doing a bit of work in the holidays already, so that's good of them. So they both decided what university they want to go to. One of their friends is thinking of going to the same one as well. It means they all get to stay at home with each other, which is fun, and they can live at home where it's a little bit cheaper, or a lot cheaper if we pay for them, which we will. We said we'll pay for their basics, and then they won't have to borrow so much money. So we said we would pay for their basic clothes and food and toiletries. They don't use many toiletries, just a bit of soap, sort of shower gel, which is all in one, shower gel, shampoo and sort of deodorant. It's not a lot. They don't use aftershaves and things like that. Okay, I think we've done all of the tree here, but this here, the contrast isn't as good as here. Can you see? So we need to work on that. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to get my burnt umber and just work on that. So I'm going to get in here and put some darker bits in. I'm being quite sort of random and just trying to do some confident sort of strokes to just get some darker areas in here. And it can be quite tricky. Sometimes you just have to trust yourself and your pencil and just go for it. It looks better. It certainly looks like there's a lot more shape to our tree now. There we go. I'm really just following the lines that are there. And now we've got the branches that are coming out of the top. We'll just do, these are going to be quite simple because they're all so small. Now I may find that I miss a few at this point, and when I come and do the leaves, I will find some that I haven't done. So I'm not going to worry. I'll keep my pencil on hand just in case, and then I can come back and fill them in. Now I think I'm going to actually not do much more here. I'm going to show you a little bit and then do a bit on my own because I think we're going on a long time. Now the leaves here, they're quite small, and we have flowers on our tree as well. Okay, so I have to make a decision about colour. Now with the leaves, I think I'm going to do them all one colour so that they're easier because they're quite small. I don't want them too dark, so I am thinking of doing them in the leaf green middle. Can you see it's a sort of, it's not a really pale colour, but it's not too dark. Okay, I want to brighten the picture. We've got a lot of dark brown. And then the flowers, we have a centre and an outside bit, so I think we need two colours. Let's put a bit of green in, and then we can look at that green and think about the colour. So there's the green. It's quite bright, isn't it? And what should we have for the flowers? I'm thinking we've got a lot of sort of browns coming up with more animals. Sorry, not in the middle, are you? I'm thinking, should we make it quite pretty? Should we see if we've got a pink that we can use? Let's have a look. Yeah, what about that? Actually, what about this purple? This pinky purple. I think that might be nice. So we've got this flower here. I'm just going to go over it lightly and see how we go. It's quite vibrant, isn't it? That's light. So what I think I'm going to do is make it darker around this central part and leave that centre bit lighter, so it sort of stands out as being different. There we go. So I'm going to go away and finish that. Well, I'm not. I'm going to stay in here because I'm not allowed to leave the room. and do all the leaves and the flowers, and then I'm going to come back to you and we can do the circle and some of the animals. So for now, thank you for watching. Let's come out so you can have a little look. So really we just sort of did the tree. I think actually what I'll do is I'll take a photo, and when I've finished all the details that I'm going to do now, I'll take a quick snap and put it at the end so you can just have a look and see how it looks, and then you can decide if you like the pink, if you like the green, if you want to go for something a little bit different. So it's up to you. But that's me for now. Thank you for watching and have a lovely day and happy colouring.